Hello, good afternoon. Hope you are all doing well. Okay, so in this video, we are going to talk about CRUD, that is, create, remove, update, and delete in Laravel 9. Alright, so we'll start with creating a new project by giving it any name you want, but we are going to name it CRUD. That's how I'm going to name it. So let's go, let's start. You right click, open in your terminal, and you run the command as follows: composer laravel, then you give your project name. In here you are going to just write a simple code. That's create, remove, update, and delete. All right. Oh, I think, oh, sorry, it is composer create laravel code. All right, so let's wait as it download all the dependencies. All right, so I think we are done downloading all the dependencies. So let's cd into our project or folder directory. So we have cd into the code. So let's open our test editor, which is VS Code. Excuse me. All right, so what we are going to do now is we are going to create a new database called CRUD to handle our stuffs, our code stuffs. So let's create a database, a new database called CRUD. I think I already have one here, so I would have to delete. Yeah, I would have to delete the one I have here, or probably replace the one. Just create a new table. Let me delete it so I'll create a new one with you guys. So Laravel code, yeah, Laravel code, then come down here, Laravel code. Let's create. Alright, so now you have created a new database. We'll have to copy the name of the database because we will need it in our project. Environmental variable file. Right, so let's copy it. Now we have copied it. Let's open our .env file and replace what we just copied with this. We can change the app name to Laravel code as well. So anytime you make any changes here, it does not reflect automatically, so it's mostly advisable to run this command, the PHP artisan config cache, so it will clear all the caches. Cache, yeah, so it will clear all the caches. All right, so let's continue. So we are not going to do we're not going to do any big tasks. We are just going to do CRUD, create, remove, and update. All right, so what we are going to do is, this is the default welcome page. We are going to clear it from here. Yeah, we are going to clear it from here. So after we are done clearing it from here, I think we should go to the Bootstrap 5 to get some nice form. Bootstrap 5. Bootstrap. Bootstrap 5. Form, right? We need a form more. I think we need a form. Alright, so we need a form to make a post. So scroll down. Actually, we need something like this. Because this will be our post and this will be our input test. Alright. So let's copy this code then. come down here, let's just run our basic HTML tags and paste it here, and let's get the link of the bootstrap so that this code will be working as expected. So let's go to getting started with bootstrap, copy the link to the CSS, and paste it here. And let's go back. Probably there will be a JavaScript code too also, so let's copy the JavaScript code too as well and paste it down here. Alright, so let's start our app. Let's start our app to see if everything is up and running. Alright, okay, so I think we are good to go. We are good to go. Alright. So in the post, we are going to do it in two ways. Let me first just put this in the middle. Yeah, let me put this in the middle. So alright, so these are some bootstrap codes, simple codes I've got from bootstrap. I'll provide a link to this to get these codes in the video description so that you can follow along with me. But you can get your own codes for this simple UI if you want. Yeah. Alright, so this is how it shows. It's a text field with a place you can choose an image. You can pick an image file, and there is a post button here, and here we are going to display our image. Alright, so but then alright, so but then we don't want to show this image logo or to show this postcard when there is nothing to show. But let's just start it, like let's just do it step by step. Alright, so now that we have our input field and our button where we are accepting image file and we are accepting a text field also, there's a text field. Alright, so what we are going to do now is we are going to give it a name. So let's name this post test, right? And let's name this, let's give this a name. It already has a name, so let's add post to it. So post image, right? Okay, so now we have our post test and our post image. All right, and we have our button here. So let's define the action and the method too here. Action is a what? We give it a route. This route has not been created yet, but we'll create it. We'll give it a route. Oh, sorry. Give it a route and we'll name it post, right? And the method is a post method, right? Method is a post method. Post method. Let's not forget our brother here. Okay. Since we are going to accept multiple input types, we are going to encrypt this form. We are going to encrypt it to multi-part form data. This is very necessary. Alright, so now that we are done with our view, let's go to our route to define a route. Or yeah, let's define a route for this. You just let's see our table here. Okay, then let's create a table for this. Alright, so PHP artisan make model. So this code here will create a model and a class. We'll create a model and a I'm sorry, this code here is going to create a model and a database for us. So let's give it a name. Let's give it um, post, right? Post data, and add a migration to it. So okay, so you can see it has created a model and a migration for us. All right, so let's go and edit it as we want. So in here, in our migration table, we want to you want to create a table with a data type of a string and call it, we'll call it test post, right? Test post, and we'll create another table for which is also a string. We'll call it the image post, right? Image post. All right. Okay, so now we are good to go with our table. So let's create a model for it too as well. So post data, we need to protect protected, and it's fillable, right? Fillable, and we need this. It's an array of test, and also about image post, test post and image post. Okay, so this is the field we need, test post and image post. All right, so now that we have our table and our model all set, let's create our route. So this is the route that is handling whatever we are seeing here now, but then we want to create our own route to handle our post. So in a route, we are going to create a new controller, PHP artisan make controller. What will be our controller name? Let's give it post controller, right? All right, I think we have successfully created our controller. So now let's continue. Let's define our route. It is a post method, right? Yeah, it's a post method. It's a post method that we are going to tell it to post data, posts, and we are going to define the controller, post controller, of which we are going to build a class of. We are going to get a class of post, right? We would name it post as well. All right. So we have successfully created our route. Now let's go to our controller. Where do we find our controller? You go to your app, http controllers, and this is our post controller, and we would want to create a function, a public function, which is called post. All right, so we are going to create our function. So this is our function. All right. So what's next? So now that we have our function, what we are going to do is, now we have created our table and our model, but then it's not present in our database. It's not present in our database, as you can see here. So what we are going to do for it to be present here is I'm going to migrate whatever that we created. So let's migrate. So this is the command, this is the code to migrate. PHP artisan migrate. Alright. So when the moment you migrate whatever table that you've created in the code to the database. So you realize all what you've created is now created here. Alright. So let's continue. Let's proceed. Alright. So let's create a new post now. So that's how we create a new post. We are going to create a new variable called post and assign it to, yes, we are going to create a new variable called post and assign it to the model that we created, the post model that we created. So let's call the post model, and this is the post model. This is how we named it, post data. So let's close this and go back to the controller. Post data. So you import it. This is how we import it. Use app model post data. Then after that you terminate it. So now you are going to assign the post to, this is the name we gave to the test input field. So we are going to call it test post, right? Test post. So the test post will be equal to the requested, okay, requested, which is what also test post. Now the request is a variable that we would also need, so we'll call it as a parameter. Alright, so now we have this. Okay, so this will handle the post for our test. Now if you could remember, we are also accepting images from the user as well. The user can post an image. Alright, so this is how we post the image. Alright, so in here we are going to first check, we are going to check if the request has an image. If the request has file which is image post. So this code will only run if the input request has an image, an input field called image. If it has, this is what we are going to do. If it has, okay, so if it has, I'm going to create a new variable called upload image and assign it to the requested type is file. The name of it is image post, right? Yes. So now we have this. So we run a condition again to check that if the uploaded image also has a file, then we run this code. Which code we want to run? Now we want to create a path where we are going to put our uploaded images at. So uploaded image will be stored where? So in our folder we are going to name it posts, and it is in the public folder. Alright, so now that we have this, we are going to assign the post variable that we created at the top there to the image post, right? That's how we named it in the model. The image post is equal to this path, right? Okay, so now we have this. I think we can save the post now. The post can be saved into the database, but then for us not to face any error, it is advisable to put our code block in a try and catch, so that we can catch any error that comes up. Alright, so there's going to be an exception of E. And down here, what do you want to return? We want to return the error. We want to return the error, and we are going to call the get message function to get the error message. Alright, get message, call of known function. Okay, call of known function. Okay, I don't think it's a dot here. It's supposed to be. We are calling it. Okay, so now that we have this, what we have to do next is we would have to create the link. We have to create the link in here, but let's just create our folder where we want our post to be. So post, right? That's how we call it. There's the name, post in the public folder, right? So now let's establish the link. There's the code to run to establish the link. PHP artisan storage link. Alright, so we have successfully linked the storage now. Alright, so in here, after this is done successfully, we would want to return the user back with a message, with a success message that successfully uploaded, successfully posted. Right. Okay, so I think there's the code to write. There's the code block responsible for making a post. Alright, so now that we have our code written successfully, we would also want to get whatever the user has posted. So in here we are going to remove this guy from there and write our own route. So it's a get method and it's the main page, right? We want to point to the post controller, the class of index, right? And give it a name. We wouldn't even give it a name. Let's just leave it like that. Alright, so in the index, come back here to our post controller and let's create a new function, public function, we'll call it index, right? Function, and in here we would want to create a new variable called post where we are going to get all our posts from, and we need the latest. We need to display it according to the first that was posted. Alright, and we want to get it. So given an error here, what is it? Use of an unknown class. Okay, it's not post, it is post data. That's the name of the model. So after that you're going to return a view of the welcome page, and you're going to compact it with the post variable, right? Alright, so now we have this. I think we can now show our posts. Let me just name it posts. Let me add an S to it. Can now show our post. Okay, so before we show our post in here, we will be showing our post in here. Alright, so every post is within this range, right? So let's put this in a for loop. for each loop. So run the Laravel command for each, there's the shortcut, for each post as post, right? So let me just first cut guy and put it down here. So for each posts as post, we want to display. All right, so let's get this image here. So we will have we call the asset function. In the asset function we have storage, and in the storage we would want to call whatever the user has posted. Image, right? Image post, right? All right. Okay, so this in here too, we need to fetch the text the user posted. So we call the post, we call the test post, right? Test post. Okay, so let's save it and see what we have. So the moment we save it, we are surely going to get an error that the routes are undefined and stuff. Yeah, I think we stopped the route, the server from running PHP artisan. So we are going to get an error that says most of our routes are undefined. I think we even didn't spell this route well. So route. So it's going to tell us our route is undefined. Yeah, okay, I think it's working. Okay, somewhere it's working. Let me post our first post, and let me post it. Okay, so failed image post does not have a default value. Okay, so we didn't make it nullable, so we can make this nullable by going back to our database, our table, because it's not mandatory for a user to post an image and also post a text at the same time. I think we have to make it nullable. We would have to make here nullable and make here also nullable as well. Nullable, yeah. So now we have the changes. I think we'll have to PHP artisan migrate refresh. Yes. Let's run the code PHP artisan save. Alright, so now that let's our first post and post it. Okay, so I think it has worked, but I don't know why it's not showing. Let me double check here. And this is our first post, and this is our first post. I think there is a problem somewhere with the test post, right? Okay, let me check the database to see if it is present. Okay, so it has not inserted. It was not inserted. Alright, so let's post an image to see something here. Let me post this image here. Okay, I think there is an error. We are getting some error somewhere. Okay, so I think I know where the error is coming from. So you realized that in our welcome, in our view, our name is not the name we give to the test input or the test area is not as the same as how we are requesting it here. So in the test post, it should have been post test, not rather test post. So it should have been post test. But in the database we call it test post, right? Okay, so we just have to change this to post test, and the image, okay, the image, so we did it post image, right? Post image, and yes, we did a post image. All right, so I think we are good to go. We are good to go now. We are good to go. 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 All right, so let's save it and see. Let's save it and see. All right, so let's create our first post. Our first post. Let's post it. Okay, so you can see it's working now. But with the images, we can run a condition to check if the images now shouldn't show. Alright, so this is the image, right? This is where you're displaying the image. So let's cut this guy and put it in condition. So if post if post is equal to now, then I shouldn't display anything. But then okay, let's just display if post is not now. This should only display if post is not now. Okay. So end if this end. So we are telling that this should only display if the post field is not now. So let's refresh and see something here. Okay, it's still coming here. If post is not now. Okay, we'll check it in the next video. Let's create a post and see if it works. Okay, let's create a post. Okay, so now you can see we are successfully uploading our images. Yeah, we can create another post here. Can create another post here. Let me get this image. Let me use a different image. I don't have images. I think I will have to get some images. Okay, let me use this image. And let's type something. That's good. Okay. So you can see it here. It's working. Alright, so congratulations. You have successfully created, uploaded an image and a text as well. So in this video section we are going to end it here. So we talked about how to create a data into the database. Okay, see you in the next section.